Most men get stuck at 20% body fat. They train, they eat relatively well, they aren't completely inactive, but they just cannot seem to shift that last chunk of body fat. Now, the issue isn't that you're not putting in effort, because obviously you are putting in some effort, but the issue is that you've got the wrong systems in place. So the plan that you're following has not been designed for you to help you get down to 12% body fat. And it's funny because getting lean genuinely isn't that hard. It's a really straightforward process, but staying in a deficit long enough to get you down to 12% body fat, that's the hard part. So today I'm going to break down exactly what it takes to get from 20% body fat to 12, and more importantly, how to stay there once you get there, because if you can't sustain it, what's the point in doing it? So we're going to be covering 3 different areas which you need to attack. It's going to be your expenditure, which is comprised of steps and cardio. It's going to be your nutrition, and then it's going to be your training, and then also a maintenance protocol after, because you want to be able to sustain that result. Expenditure. So your expenditure is just the calories that you burn outside of the gym. Now, so many fellas overlook how important this actually is. So for your expenditure, we've got 2 different things. We've got a step target and zone 2 cardio. Now, daily steps are the foundation for fat loss. That consistent movement every day is going to help you drive that fat loss every single day. It's incredibly low impact, it won't affect recovery, and it's easy calories burned. So pick a daily step target of around 8 to 12K. And just stay consistent with it. And then we've got zone 2 cardio on top of that. So zone 2 cardio is cardio done at 55 to 70% of your maximum heart rate, and it's really low impact. Aim for 2 to 4 sessions per week. If you are genuinely short for time, I would leverage cardio more than steps, as steps are more time consuming, so I would do a little bit more cardio than steps. That's going to help you to get a little bit more bang for your buck and help you to actually stay in that deficit week to week so that you can strip off the body fat. Next up, we've got nutrition. This is where most people overcomplicate it. It's really simple. So protein, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Fats want to be at 50 to 70 grams, coming from healthy sources like dark chocolate, avocado, eggs, olive oil, nuts. We've also got carbs. So once you've calculated your protein and the fats that you need, fill the rest of your calories with carbs. So you want good carbs, potatoes, rice, oats. Those sorts of things are going to help you to keep the calories low whilst feeling fueled for your sessions. Personally, I prefer lower fat, higher carb diets because it leaves me feeling more energized and it allows me to recover a little bit better. But the real number that you need is your deficit calories. So calculate your maintenance calories, so the calories that you need to maintain your current body weight, subtract 300 to 500, nail your protein, nail your fats, fill the rest of your calories with carbs, and then stick to that. Training. Now, training is so important when you're dieting. So many fellas that I speak to have dieted and they're scared of dieting again because they lost muscle when they did it before. If you are consuming a really low amount of calories and energy is low and your mood is low and recovery is not in a great spot, your training is going to suffer massively, which is why it's important to nail your nutrition properly so that you can fuel your training. You need to make sure that even in a deficit, you are training to failure, you're training incredibly hard, you are actively trying to progress your lifts, or you're trying to match lifts so that you can retain the tissue that you've got. Hit each muscle group twice per week. As for training splits, if you can train 2 or 3 times a week, I would do full body. If you can train 4 times a week, I would do upper, lower, upper, lower. If you can train 5 times a week, I would do pull, push, lower, rest, upper, lower, rest. Do not train more than 5 times a week. You need to give your body at least 2 days in the week to recover and to repair so that you're not running yourself into the ground. The goal with training in a deficit is not to build muscle. Your body's not in the right position to accommodate hypertrophy, to accommodate muscle growth. Your goal is to retain the tissue that you've got, and intensity is what forces your body to hold on to tissue. Next up is arguably the most important thing. It's the maintenance protocol. If you get down to 12% body fat and 2 or 3 months later you're back up to 20, it's been a waste of time. So when you get down to 12% body fat, you can have a little bit more flexibility. You can taper cardio down a little bit. You can be a little bit more flexible with food. But for the majority of your time with food, 80% of your nutrition does need to be clean and it needs to be tracked so that you can ensure that you're not in too much of a surplus to the point where you're gaining excess body fat. Cardio and steps need to be kept in year round. You don't need to be doing 15K steps a day, an hour of cardio every single day to maintain 12% body fat, but you need to be doing 10K steps a day and a few cardio sessions every single week just to offset those extra calories that you'll be consuming from that added flexibility. So to summarize, expenditure, steps, and cardio in zone 2. Food, nail your protein first, get your healthy fat sorted, fill the rest of your calories with carbs and make sure that you are in a calorie deficit. And then training. Train hard, train to failure, follow the right split that aligns with your schedule, and you'll be sweet. And when you get down to 12%, treat that maintenance period as part of the process, because it is. Without that maintenance process, you are going to spiral back up to 20%. Most fellas will never get down to 12% from 20 because they can't sustain the system that they're using for long enough. So if you build the system, it's easy to stay consistent, it's easy to sustain it in the long term, and it's easier to actually get there and maintain it once you're there. That's going to wrap it up for this video, people. So if you found it useful, drop me a like, drop me a comment with any questions, drop me a sub, and I will catch you in the next one.